For 2,000 years, meditation was just a belief, practice, something monks did on mountaintops while the rest of us got on with our lives. Then scientists did something nobody had tried before. They put meditators inside a brain scanner and watched what happened in real time. What the scans showed surprised even the skeptics. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what meditation does to your brain. What's been proven, what's still theory, and what is pure myth. And one of these three will probably surprise you. This is Inner Cosmos. Here's the honest question a scientist would ask. How could sitting still and breathing change a physical organ made of tissue and electricity? For a long time, the assumption was simple. Couldn't. Meditation might feel nice, but the brain you were born with was the brain you were stuck with. That idea turned out to be wrong. Because the adult brain isn't fixed. It's plastic. It rewires itself based on what you repeatedly do. Scientists call this neuroplasticity. And meditation, it turns out, is a workout the brain responds to. Start at the front of your brain, the prefrontal cortex. This is your command center. Decision-making, focus, self-control. Brain imaging studies have found that long-term meditators tend to have measurable differences in this region compared to non-meditators. Areas linked to attention appearing more developed. The brain seems to strengthen what you practice the way a muscle responds to training. Now go deeper to the hippocampus central to memory and learning. In one well-known study, people who completed just 8 weeks of a mindfulness program showed increased gray matter concentration here. 8 weeks. Not a lifetime on a mountaintop. About the length of a single season. We'll come back to how solid that finding really is later. Hold that thought. Deep in your brain sits a small almond-shaped structure called the amygdala, your emotional alarm system. It fires when it senses threat, flooding you with stress, fear, and that wired, on-edge feeling. In our modern world, that alarm goes off far too often, over emails, traffic, and worries that never actually arrive. Here's what's striking. Studies have linked regular meditation to a less reactive amygdala, and even to reduced density in that region alongside lower self-reported stress. The alarm doesn't disappear. It just stops screaming at every shadow. You know that voice in your head? The one replaying old conversations, rehearsing future ones, never quite shutting up? That's largely your default mode network, the circuit that switches on when your mind wanders to itself. Overthinking, worry, rumination, they live here. And this is one of the clearest findings in the field. Experienced meditators show reduced activity in this network. Less mental chatter, more presence. Not because they force the voice quiet, but because the circuit itself learns to settle. Now the part that made headlines. Researchers wired up Tibetan monks, people with tens of thousands of hours of meditation, and recorded their brain activity. The readings were unlike almost anything seen in a healthy adult. Extraordinarily high-amplitude gamma waves, the fast rhythm tied to peak awareness and attention, appearing in remarkable synchrony across the brain. But here's the honest caveat, and it matters. These were elite practitioners with decades of training. This is not what happens in your first week. It shows the brain's ceiling, not a promise for a beginner. Proven. Meditation can lower stress, calm the amygdala's reactivity, and quiet the brain's mind-wandering network. These are well-supported. Emerging. That meditation physically grows brain structure in weeks. Early scans pointed this way, but the effects are modest, and scientists are still confirming how strong and lasting they really are. Promising, not settled. Myth. That meditation cures diseases, unlocks hidden brain percentages, or hands you superpowers. The real science is amazing enough without the fairy tales. The truth is more grounded than the gurus claim, and more remarkable than the skeptics ever expected. We started with a question. How could sitting still change a physical brain? The scanners answered. What was once dismissed as mere belief now leaves real fingerprints in the brain. Measured, not imagined. But notice what the science is also telling us. Stay humble. The brain is subtler than any headline, and meditation isn't magic. It's practice slowly reshaping the most complex object we know of. If you're fascinated by where science meets wonder, subscribe. That's where this channel lives. And here's the question we'll chase next. If meditation can change the brain, is your mind only in your brain or something more? We'll follow the science right to the edge. See you there.